one and all, and welcome to the labs. Just zoom out of Mr. Pac-Man there. Okay, and what we have today as a special guest, after a bit of skip diving, we came up with this rather special little treasure. This, let me zoom in a little bit for you there. There we go, what a nice to you. This is an original IBM personal computer AT keyboard. This one particularly was made in 1986. How do I know this? Well, if you look on the back. 2nd October 1986. Made in the United Kingdom. Hurrah! A sign of quality. And don't hang me if I got this wrong, but this is a 2nd generation PC keyboard, and it's the clicky type. Geeky. Yes, it's got the metal things underneath, which give it such a lovely. And they got such a lovely. Yeah, I'm having a geekasm. There we go. That's better. Right. Yes. Lovely clicky original keyboard. These keyboards are much sought after, and at the time of recording, I've seen these on eBay from around £60 to £160, and this was in the trash. Nice. Anyhow, 1986. It's got all these function keys down here. Obviously, it doesn't have a Windows key because this is Windows. Well, this is DOS era, I think. No, it wasn't a popular version of Windows after at the time, so this is DOS. The rest of it's pretty simple. On the top here we've got, I'll just take this off, there's no cheap sticky stuff here. This is a proper IBM label. Look at the shiny quality. And it's built like a proverbial brick poo house. And there we go. Now, on the back, I think this is something that all keyboards should have. Look at these rests. You have to push them in, twist, and they disappear. Twist, pops out, locks in position. Yes, I think all keyboards should have this these days, instead of these cheap little legs you get that knock off. But, that said, and in their defence, on the days when these were made, computers cost a lot more than they do now, and I imagine the markup in profits were a lot more than they are now, so they could afford to splash out on really well built things. And this thing is really well built. It weighs quite a bit, and it has an extreme, and I can't see it all in this shot, so see if I can zoom out for you. There we go. It has an extremely long cord. If I push that back, still see that? Yep, good. Can sort of wrap it up. So it has a long cord, and on the end is the 5-pin DIN. Now you can use these with a modern computer, not with that obviously. You need to get an adapter that goes from this to PS2, and then from PS2 to USB. Now the bit that goes to USB is very temperamental, and finding one that actually works is, yeah, fun. I haven't managed yet, so that's something we'll have to look into. But let's take you back down. Hang on, quick cup of tea. It smells really nice in here, really nice. I'll explain why in a few seconds. Let's go down and have a look closely at it, because as you can see, this bugger, see all the dirt in there around the label. The keys are absolutely grimy. Nice. So, that makes this a prime candidate for a complete teardown and restoration. Now, apart from the dirt, because these are so well made and bulletproof, bomb-proof, apart from that, I don't think there's any real cosmetic marks or scratches. I think these just come off, yeah, they are coming off now. So I think this should come up really nice. So there's an opportunity to take it apart, have a look inside it, and clean it up. Which is why it's smelling really nice in here, because of the stuff I'm going to be using is already prepared. So first thing to do, don't turn it on, because we can't tear it apart. Mr. Screwdriver, yes. Right, and in case you hadn't noticed, we're in, and look, even these screws, they were so tight. And these screws would cost more than a modern keyboard. Real quality stuff there. And even on the inside, there's attention to detail that you just don't see these days. Look at this. Actually, I'm wrong. Hang on. Has this been sprayed? I don't know why they've got that brown stuff in here, which is easily marked. But there we go. Looks like it's been sprayed in for some reason. Don't know why they've done that. It's on the other side as well. That's strange. If anybody knows why they've sprayed the inside. Just sprayed, you can see there. That's an interesting find. I don't know why they've done that. If anybody knows, please pass the information on for us fellow geeks. And there's the feet mechanism. Look at this feet mechanism here. So what we'll do is set up against a little bar there, and they turn, and there's little springs inside. Simple but effective. Right, let's have a look. I've just noticed down here. Oh, that's just geeky. Let's have a look. Got two labels here. There's the first one. And it says focus please camera. There we go. Date 1st of October 1986, part number blah, 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 EC level blah, 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 made in United Kingdom. Look at this. Logic assembly. Signed for. That's not really. Base logic assembly. Somebody signed for it. And the shift. Button merge. Signed for shift. Click test. Oh, click test. Could you imagine being the click tester? Oh, there we go again. Sorry. Final test and a post-click test. How geeky would that be to do that job? Looks like there's some nice stuff under here. So, let's get these electronics out, because we've got some nice electronics at the back there to be removed. So, next stage. Okay, not sure what this board is. It's just for the lights apparently, looks like. You've got whatever chip that is, I do not know. And yes, there we go. 3 LEDs. So I'll put that safely over there. And we're going to remove these, but they've got tiny little screws in, as you can see. So let's see if I've got a screwdriver that fits them. If not, they'll have to stay in position. Why is everything else got screws in, but not that? How strange. Oh well, see if I've got a screwdriver. Oh, excuse me, that fits. Right, couldn't find a screwdriver bloody small enough, so I've had to use a pair of pliers to get them out. But it's done. What I do find amazing is that an IBM product, it's got 2 screw holes on either side. It's as if they measured it up, thought, oh bugger, we got that wrong, and the whole batch was redone there. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. So we're going to have to remove the cable. It needs unscrewing from these 2 points. Dun, 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 dun. There are now 2 types of screws in here, but was it 3? Oh yeah, 3, because the golden ones are from the inside, silver ones outside. Well, that's the same anyway. Yeah, it's the same. That doesn't bother us. And looks like that big doesn't do much. Oh, it's bolted, that's why. Okay, see if we can get this bolt off. Actually, that can probably just stay on. Okay, right, let's get these. Here you can't see, can you? Bagger. Right, let's get these back screws off. And it looks like the front end of the keyboard just clicks in, so. Don't you love watching me screw? I will screw any day for you. Don't you love watching me screw? Do you think I'm good at screwing? Right, okay. This is connected to this. I don't know how it's connected properly yet, so I haven't removed it. Wow. Hopefully, yes, we can just pull. And there we go. Keyboard released. That weighs a ton, that keyboard. And we can look at. No. Okay. I was going to try and move them, but it doesn't seem to be that they want to. Oh, they do. Yes, so there we go. Take them out. Enough persuasion. You bastard. Come on. There we go. And as you can see, they've sprayed the inside of the bottom case as well, which is a shame that it's hidden away, because it actually looks quite funky. Yes, I quite like that. But there we go. Let's put them there. Now, these are going to get soaked in the bath. Obviously, the electronics aren't, because they're not in a bad condition, so they don't need to be. Oh, excuse me. The bottom of the case, I can't soak. Reason being, there's 2 buggers. Reason being, it's got that label underneath. It tells you the year, and that's just paper, so that's going to stay out the rain or water or whatever. But the top can go in, no problem. Okay. Let's have a look. Here we have the main keyboard itself, and as you can see, yuck, oh, yuck. Underneath, big metal plate. Quality stuff, that's what's weighing it down. That's where half the weight is. And on the back, got this electronics module, which is connected. Direct solder. Okay, so that limits. That doesn't really limit. Just means, yes, it's soldered directly to that board. So that's going to have to go in the bath as well, but luckily, yeah, there's nothing to stop that going in the bath. Now, so this is really gritty, so we're going to have to try. Yep, that was easy. Oh, look at these. I'm going to have to take all the keys off. Now we've got a photograph, I've already taken a photograph of where the keys go so we can put them back. But these keys are all going to have to come off. I hate operating on space bars, they are a pain in the arse. Easy to get off, usually. It's getting them back on that's a pain. Right, because they never want to come back. There we go. There's clips in there and that clips in there. So that's actually a relatively easy one. See, that's what always happens when you do these things. They always come back out of balance. But we shall see about fixing that. Okay, so spacebar's off, and you can see underneath it's really cruddy. See if we can get this one off. Okay, underneath we have, what do we have? underneath each key we have a spring which is mounted to the backboard. How it's mounted to the backboard at the moment I could not tell you because I can't see clearly enough, but I'm going to get these keys off, the rest of these keys off, and then look at getting into that backboard. Looks like it's just squeeze here, pull these tabs, and we can go into the backboard, into the back, and see what we can see. So let's pull these keys off. I'm not going to film that. And the keys, which is why it smells really nice here. I have a nice pot of boiling hot washing up liquid water, and these guys just go in there, and that will help to break down all the enzymes and crap and stuff on there. So they'll all go and soak in there. I'll be right back. Right, here we are, a little bit later with very dirty fingers and a very crusty area under the keyboard. That's gross. It's not corrosion, it is just crust. Oh, nice. This was used in an industrial setting. So, we've got to work out now how to get this apart. Now, I'm imagining it looks like it slides, but does it slide? I think I'm going to have to play with this and come back and see what I can do. Okay, we're back, and I'm just holding this gash. It turns out that this first tag here bends over and is in a straight slot, so that's designed to stop it moving. The other slots, as you can see, these tabs slide, so once that one's free you just slide the two boards sideways and oh shit, it comes apart. Oh shit is the word, because oh, look at that, I didn't expect that. Right, so look at this. Oh, look at that artwork. There's all the pads. This zooms right out. There's all the pads, and that's nice and clean, so that's been protected. And now I know why there's metal on the back is to protect that from interference. This is in the interference paranoid days, but that's nice. I like that. And on initial inspection, not appear to be any damage at all, corrosion or anything. So that's good. Now, here, yes, the other story. As we pull it apart there, as you can see, there were hundreds of little bloody things, and when it goes back together, yes, these are going to have to be replaced. So they all drop out, which I'm going to clean that board. I'm going to have to take all them out and then put them all back in later. Know where that came from? Yeah. That might be one of the space bar or something. The unused slot. Ah, there he goes. So where does that go? It's two layers. You've got this little mechanism there, which sits into one of these like that. So that's your mechanism basically. Sits in there. And there you go, there's your spring. So this is going to be a lot of fiddly work to put back together. Oh jai. I'm going to have to put this on little ramps on the end or something to hold it in place. And then you have to get that board back on without this falling to bits. The joys of working on keyboards, eh? So, one way to get these out. What fun. I'll pull this little, there we go. Okay, rescued somewhere. What's the state of this? Okay, what we've got here is, you can't see, but I've still got half of them in, but if I try and flip it up, it's just a foam pad. And usually at this stage foam corrodes, but they've obviously used the good stuff here because it's showing no sign of corrosion. On the floor I have now got a nice collection of bits. Don't want to lose any of them, so I'll put them all over here very carefully. Look at the floor, it's covered of rubbish from in here. So here we are at the back plate, which as you can see on the other side is nice and clean, but on the side that faces the keyboard, what a mess. Now while I'm here, the keys are soaking in this boiling hot water with dishwasher powder in, and if I grab a key, you can see that already, without even scrubbing, grab another one, it's actually taken the dirt off, so there's no scrubbing involved. You've got to get this water as hot as possible, because then that activates the chemicals which removes the enzymes which clean your keys like that. Isn't that nice? I haven't even had to scrub any, and they're all clean. Look at that! That's amazing. I wish I'd known about this before. Well, I didn't read about it, I thought about this. Oh, yeah. So what I'll have to do is you have to get this stuff back off. There's a space bar nice and clean. You've got to get this stuff back off. So I will drain this and rinse it and drain, rinse and lay them out to dry. So first of all I need to get this one, back plate, and the keyboard and get them, the keyboard cover, and get them scrubbed up. The top can just go in the water, back I'll have to be more careful with because the paper bits, and when you're using washing up powder, wash your hands because they go horrible and sticky. So I'll be back and get them washed. Nice wet carpet. Oh well. Okay, a little bit later, and update. The back plane for the keys has been cleaned. It does have some corrosion on there. I suppose I could respray it, but knowing my ability to respray stuff, it would come out looking worse. So I'm going to leave that. I could always go in later and do it, but for now I'm leaving that. The case itself, the bottom, this turned out to be not just normal paper, so I was able to soak it. So that's come up nice and clean. The top, same thing. Look at that, nice and clean, even the label. Toothbrush in there with a little bit of toothpaste. Got out the dirt. Here, there's a little bit of mark, but I can't seem to get rid of that, but it's only tiny. Any marks like that, I just use toothpaste and a sponge, and as you can see, nails, his nails. There we go. Clean again. Keys themselves. Read them in the bucket, soaked them, and then poured them in the sink. Make sure none of them went down the plug hole. The plug hole was too small for them to go down. Rinsed them all out, and I've put them on a baking tray because I'm not going to wait for days for them to dry. The oven at the moment is warming up. Put it to about 80 degrees. We'll put them in. It should be safe at 80 degrees, and we'll let it dry them. We've got the oven on at 80 degrees. We'll switch the oven off, put them in, and just let it cool down with them in, and that should dry them off nicely. I'll be right back. Next time you see this, it should be reassembled. If you want to see how it's reassembled, play the video in reverse. So, yes, a lot of work to go to put this back together, so off we go. Right, a day later, and with a bit of help from the pink fluffy monk, it's back together. Oh yes, it was fun putting the keys back, but we did have a photograph and that helped. The issue you need to take care of when you're putting these back together is you've got the springs underneath with the little plastic tabs. Now, with some keys you'd think every hole has a spring. It doesn't, not on these. Some of these keys, like the insert, the enter, shift, are only supported by a spring on one side. So when you're putting the springs in, you need to look at the back of the keys, and obviously it's mirrored because you're working upside down, so you need to look at the back of the keys, see where the spring sits on there, and put it in the appropriate hole. So it was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think there's about 6 holes on these keyboards that do not have springs sitting on in them. So that can be fun to work out. Apart from that, it's practically spotless. Let's have a closer look, as they say. Yeah, the only little spot we got on it is a little mark there, which won't come off at the moment for some reason. Yeah, my grotty oval finger there. Oh, a few cuts. But apart from that, it is now beautifully clean. And those keys didn't have, as you probably saw, didn't have to scrub them whatsoever. Just put them in the boiling mixture of washing up powder. Let them soak 10 minutes. Rinsed them in the sink, and then put them in the oven for a quarter of an hour, 100 degrees. Lovely. So, back together. And that is how you restore. Oh, a classic, or indeed any keyboard. Only problem now is a USB adapter for it. So if anybody has, it's a bit risky buying them off the net. So if anybody has one that they know does work, I should be willing to donate financial stuff in your direction to get it. I know it won't completely work. Windows won't give me all the functions, but it's just got to be used, hasn't it? Wonderful. So, there you go. That's how you can restore a classic keyboard, or indeed any keyboard. And you've had a nice look inside how one of these actually works. Now we're going to clean this carpet because it's dumped all over it. Ugh. So, apart from that, it's a successful project. Hey, thank you very much.
You need to quit being dirty. You're a dirty boy.